Hi everyone, how y'all doing today? I wanted to ask if anyone has tried transcranial magnetic stimulation in treating chronic abdominal pain in particular. I've tried TMS 4 times. Depression, my depression stems from the chronic pain that's started ever since my first surgery in 2017. And have since had 7 upper and lower abdominal surgeries to my body. Opioids have been the only thing that has helped reduce the pain. You know, I've also been told try marijuana. It helps reduce pain. Well, it messed my head up, gave me very bad psychological, mental, emotional, and physical problems, to say the least. And I've tried nerve blocks, injections. They don't work. Doctors prescribing me psych meds as a secondary, having a secondary effect of reducing pain. That they didn't work. I've tried spinal stimulators. They don't work. They don't help reduce my pain in my abdomen. CBD, might as well be snake oil. Doesn't help my pain. Acupuncture maybe lasts an hour, maybe 2, and it's just very expensive and I can't afford it. And the same with the injections, nerve blocks. They don't work. I have abdominal pain, so it makes it difficult to, they just don't work. That's the reality of spinal, injections. I tried physical therapy to try to reduce pain in my abdomen. Doesn't work. I've tried platelet-rich plasma therapy, PRP, several times with no benefit at all. I've used TENS units, which don't help. They don't help me. And I was wondering if anyone knows any other forms of pain relief that, are not ones that I've listed. Any kind of technology, meds, devices, cheap integrative pain management treatment, or doctors, stem cell companies, TMS to treat chronic pain. In the United States, people with Medicare and Medicaid are not covered for TMS to treat chronic pain. So that's wonderful. I found that out today. But I was wondering if anyone knew around the world if TMS is offered for chronic pain, what it costs, where it is located. Any information would be greatly appreciated. And there's also, there's this device, it's called the IB Stim. That's IB-STIM. It is by a company called NeuroAxis. It is a device that you wear on your ear, and it blocks the pain signals from the brain to the gut. It's specifically designed for people that have chronic abdominal pain from IBD and IBS. There's a lot of different, this Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, to name some. IBS is like a dysfunction of the bowel and how it moves and how everything works. It was literally very recently approved for adults of all ages. But the problem is that they need adult GI doctors to be trained. I mean, they're actively looking for adult GI doctors to be trained on this device. and it shows a lot of promise. It was used on adolescents, 8+, and there was a lot of evidence saying it works. So, I'm just putting that out there. Spread that information and news to your, GI doctors. It's called the IB Stim by NeuroAxis, and that's NeuroAxis. Remember, don't lose hope. Be strong. There are new technologies, pain meds, pain management methods that help reduce pain, chronic pain, and pain from IBD and IBS that are coming out constantly, accelerating. I know that many of us who suffer from IBD or IBS, chronic pain, are on disability and receive Medicare and Medicaid. This can severely limit our options quite often in being able to have approval coverage for beneficial treatments, and as a result, we suffer. I've had TMS for depression 4 times, like I've said, and I just had a national coverage determination meeting. I submitted a national coverage determination request. I was told by the people in this meeting that it was the best one they've seen ever. They still denied me on a national level. They said there wasn't enough evidence to base the fact that TMS to treat chronic pain is a thing, which I looked on the internet and there's hundreds, if not thousands of articles. There's hundreds, if not thousands of YouTube videos saying the opposite. Some people that have had TMS for multiple different, neuropathy, fibromyalgia, headaches, you name it, chronic pain. They have had 30 to even sometimes 60% reduction in pain. I mean, it would be a miracle to get even just 30%. You know what I mean? And it's frustrating. I know there's people that don't have Medicare and Medicaid, and they probably can get that treatment, but for the people that don't have, who have Medicare and Medicaid, they can't get the treatment. And that's an unfortunate reality, but we have to make our voices be heard. We cannot stand idle and let the government just roll over us. We the people have to stand up. We have to write letters to our congressmen, congresswomen, senators, to the president, vice president, speaker of the House, local officials, state officials, governors, that we, people that have IBD, IBS, chronic pain from whatever means, need to have more options available than just opioids, marijuana, muscle relaxants, acupuncture, spinal blocks, spinal stimulators, medical cannabis. We need more options, and they've been doing studies for chronic pain with TMS since the early 2000s. And I was told today that there's not enough evidence to support that it actually works when it's been, being studied since the early 2000s. I even asked them, how long is it going to take? Another 20 or 30 years? I mean, there's so much red tape, it's ridiculous. But, I just wanted to say that. Like, subscribe, share this around to your friends, your family. If you have Crohn's or colitis or GI disability or chronic pain, let me know if you've tried something that I haven't listed or, had a treatment somewhere in the world. stem cells. You know, I appreciate all of it, and you know, just be strong and don't lose hope. You know, we can make a difference, but we can't make a difference if we stay silent. Thank you all, and take care, and have a nice day. Bye.